Hello everyone. In the previous video, um, I continued with the interaction, and when I overlap with an item, I um, I set a generic widget, very simple widget, to say level 1 and the name of the item. Um, and if I go and overlap again, I can say press F to pick up uh, and the name to the sword or the item. So, and before I begin, I made um, some things into the enemy just to not lose time. Basically, what I did from the item, I did to the enemy as well. This will be some sort of an NPC base just to test things. Later on, um, I will surely refactor how the NPC or the enemies behave and work. But for now, I have a widget component and an overlap with settings of object type interaction, custom. I overlap only with pawn and the interaction response. And I put the interface to the enemy. So if I go now, um, uh, I get the um, and press F, for example, for the items, I destroy them, and somehow I will implement an inventory. And now if I overlap with an enemy or an NPC, it says level 1 NPC 1. Um, Later on, I will change the name. I can say press F to talk with NPC, and if I press, it says hello. Okay, and the interaction system inside, I have the interface that I'm going to give to every component basically. So I can activate many components at once if I really want to. But for now, I don't check anything. I just simply um, spawn a sphere overlap for actors, and this is for debugging. I set the actor, and then I interact. And when the interaction finishes, I set the actor back to nothing. Okay, now before I make any changes, uh, because this is far from uh, finish the uh, system is far from finished. I would like to um, let's say when I interact with many items, I would like to not destroy the items at the same time. So first of all, I will go to my generic blueprints to my player, and in the in the overlap with interactables, I will do hidden in game because now I don't need to see it anymore. The other thing I'm going to do is go to the interaction system and make a new folder and say data. And the thing I'm gonna make is a struct. So as interaction rel, and inside here I will have an actor of object reference, and let's say overlapping actor, and here I will say interaction tag, and this one will be a gameplay tag. So now I can close this and go back to the interaction system, and instead of using a generic interaction tag, um, that I'm setting in uh, when the actor begins of the overlapping. I will delete this, and I will delete the on the end overlap, and I will delete the interaction tag in general. And I will give the interaction real as a relationship. So as interaction rel. I will make it an array and I will do a private. I will do it. I will set to private because we don't need to. The owner of the component doesn't need to know what this array has. So now I can delete this and the print string and check if the other actor is equal with get player controller, and I should probably do player character as well. So if it's false, I can continue with the interaction and ask myself again, is the overlapping actor interactable? It goes to the actor and gets the boolean if it's true or false. If it's true, uh, I get the action tag, but instead now what I'm going to do is give another variable, or actually I will rename this and say interaction tag, and in the and I will go to the to my item base, and in the interface the get the action tag. Instead I will make interaction tag. Okay, so I will promote this to a variable and say interaction tag, and by default I will do interact at the subtag interact dot pickup. Okay, so now in the event graph I'm using the um, action tag to pass it from the item. So I don't really need to have the action tag inside the interaction component. I need though an interaction tag. So later I can first of all I can say in the event try activate by action tag, I can say for each loop I can break, and if this matches tag with the action tag, then continue with the interaction. So if this is true, then spawn overlap actors. And simply I will go to the on begin overlap and say add, make, and I will get the action tag and the overlapping actor, and then connect to the action tag. Okay, this should be renamed to get the interaction tag. I will do it later. Anyways, and on the end overlap, I will get this and say remove item. and I will make get action tag, and the overlapping actor will be the other actor. And I set the vertical box to nothing. So now if I uh, add the breakpoint here, this is the player character, so uh, I should say, for example, here or boolean if the other actor equals with get player character. So if both are false or uh, because the component will be living inside the player controller, uh, actually they overlap on begin overlap. It triggers for I believe for both of the player controller and the player character. Either way, the interactable is false. The player doesn't even have the interface, so um, yeah, maybe it's just a waste. Like it's not a necessary step. Either way, if I begin overlap, it's false. And now I begin to overlap with the rusty sword. I take the interaction tag and I add to the struct array. So now I have a relationship between the overlapping actor and the interaction tag. Then I'm setting and I have the name and the press F to pick up a rusty sword. And I'm doing this because um, now if I press F, nothing spawned. So uh, I can press F only and spawn an overlap collision or something about something to pick up actors only if the tag is something to match the interact.activate. So now if I press F, I believe nothing happens because I said in interact.activate. Where is my player state? Generic blueprints, player state. Okay, I sent interact.activate, but if I send generic interact, I believe that should work. So if I come here, now I can pick up. So the idea here is, let me save. So the idea here is I send a very generic tag inside the interaction component that is interact, and if you overlapping with an enemy or an NPC or item, this array will not be empty. We'll have some sort of interaction tag, and I then check if any tags matches, and if it's true, then execute the logic. If it's not false, don't even waste any uh, time or computing power or whatever to try and interact. Um, so yeah, we can hide this. And the great part about this is I can later, if I decide to, I can later switch and say, okay, if the interaction tag is um, interact.pickup, play a specific montage, like maybe you go and pick up, you have a montage to pick up an item, and if it's npc.talk, then play another montage. So yeah, now this isn't gonna work as expected, because first of all, uh, if I let me remove this breakpoint. If I remove the breakpoint and stop overlapping, but I'm already inside an item, the message goes to blank. So, and then if I overlap again with another item, um, it's appearing again. So now we need to fix the uh, on end overlap. So I will go there and I will say remove. So now how are we gonna fix this? For now, I know that on the end overlap, just to be safe, I can say B is interactable. Just to be safe. And if it's true, get the action tag and remove. The other thing I believe is to take the interaction relationship and check is empty. I believe this should go here. So if the array is empty, that means that you don't overlapping with any actors, or if you did, now you don't. So if it's true, show vertical box. If it's false, I can say for each loop break get owner from the overlapping actor get uh, get interaction action prompt and connect this and check the show. So I believe now that um, now you will have a sword, a text. I'm sorry, and if you stop overlapping, it goes away. So now if I press F, I can interact with it, and if I press F and overlapping with both the items, I can um, destroy both at the same time, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do is delete this, the debug, and delete for each loop. Okay, so if the action tag and the interaction tag inside the array matches, I will do sphere trace for objects, and the object types will be make array interaction make array. I will ignore the get player character. Get player character. Okay, so I can check now and then break, and I have an information about hit actor and everything I want. Now, what I'm doing uh, for the sphere trace for object, I will say get player controller. Then I will do get camera manager, get player camera manager, and then say get camera location. And this will be the starting. For the radius, I will do something small, maybe 35. I, I guess it's fine. And for debug, for duration to see. So, in the end, I will get all of this, um, get the player controller, get the player camera manager, again, and get the camera location. Then I think I'm adding this with forward get forward vector, and I will multiply with float double precision. I will make it something like 500 units for now, and this will be the end. And just to test the if this works, I will uh, remove this connection, because if I'm not inside an overlapping collision, I won't be able to spawn. So now I have a trace from the camera, and I trace straight uh, from the camera, from the forward vector. So if I uh, make the camera go up and press F, that's why I made the very generic and ugly cursor. So just to test a bit the the things, you could have like, let's 40 by 100, or rather 20, like minus 100. I don't know. I am trying to uh, make the camera go left. I think I was thinking that it was um, x axis, but I guess it's like, okay. So if I it was y axis, but if I press F, I can see that the green part is blocking the heat, and the the interaction line goes from the camera and always be to the cursor. And because I have a camera setting that goes up, uh, even if I was there, it doesn't reach the item. So now I will do like maybe 3000. So if I press now, it goes way, way, way um, further. And if I press, I can interact with an item, and that's why I'm doing the check beforehand. This check, so I can delete this. And if I play now, I can't spawn the interaction line, but if I'm overlapping and I have the message, press F to pick up the item, now I can press. So if I stop, I'm pressing, but I can um, spawn the line. So even if I see the name and press F, I can't actually interact. I need to be inside the collision sphere. Okay, so now if I connect this and say, okay, it's if the hit actor is interactable, right, right. If it's interactable, then set the actor and then interact with with whatever item. If I do this, this will work, I believe. So if I do this, now I can spawn, but still I believe that when the two items overlap together and mm, uh, at some point why why is that? So if I make the radius 100, for example, I believe that if something gets hit, you can actually pick up again the same amount. I mean that I overlap with both. If I press F, oh, it's not. Okay, I guess it pick up the first item that the um, that the trace hits. Either way, I was doing something like I was doing the interaction relationship, and I was for each looping break. Actually, I was doing for each loop with a break, and if the overlapping actor was equal with the hit actor, if this was true, I was setting the interactable actor and I was breaking. And then on completed, I could say interact and do set the interactable actor to nothing. So essentially what I was doing, it was, okay, I overlap, I will set only the, because I could overlap with many things and I could hit with a sphere uh, many actors, but I guess this is fine. So I will do 30. I will leave it like this, and I believe this is finished. I think the interaction. Now I can even go to the NPC, press F to talk with NPC, I can't, I need to pass the interaction tag, get action tag. I will promote this to a variable and say interaction tag. So now if I say where is it? Interact dot pickup. I will say interact dot talk or interact dot npc talk, or rather interact dot npc. So now if I play, I'm pressing F. I cannot do anything. I still press F. If I overlapping with something, then I can destroy it or interact. So if I press to the NPC, now I can say hello. And this doesn't mean that even if you press F like here, you can see that um, I'm interacting with the NPC. Like you don't have the to have the cursor up on the NPC. It just needs to be inside the trace, the overlap collision. And if I stop overlapping, I'm pressing F, nothing happens. So yeah, if it dies, it spawns. Now I need to fix some things like the name shouldn't be like that, or doing that and that. And I also don't know why I cannot spawn pick up. Oh, okay, I can. Um, so I need to fix some things on how the names um, are placed in the world. But for now, I will keep this very minimal like that. So yeah, and the last thing, I believe that before you interact, you can, for example, say switch here and put the interaction, for example, interact.npc play montage, and you could say something like get player character, get mesh, and as in skeletal mesh component, and I will do a death just for testing, and on completed I can go like that, connect this, and if I'm interacting with an NPC, then I will play a montage. So I will go to the items. Okay, nice. Okay, I need to do interact dot pickup. If it's pickup, just interact for now. I will do the items, and it's getting destroyed. And I believe if I go to the NPC and press F to talk with NPC, I can play the montage. So yeah, I think this is it. I will clean up later the project because everything is uh, messy. But now I have an interaction system. I have a spawn drop system. Also, I have an input system that I can press one key and have different actions from different components. or maybe the same component as well. And I can pass the data from the controller to the player state, and from the player state I can pass to the component owners some action tags in order to execute some logic in the correct component. And because the interaction is itself a rerouting system, I believe, like you send back another action tag, and with this action tag do something else. Um, Now I can pass the data from the interaction system to the other components. The hard part was to pass the data from the interaction to the inventory, uh, because the enemy, I can have a component saying BBC, like um, dialogue system, and the data could I could pass data from the, what is it, from the event interact. But for items it's different, because I need to pass the correct data, the correct actor, and uh, the correct primary data asset, quantity, tags to the inventory. And to be honest, I could say something like get component by class, and say, okay, I know that the inventory component lives in the player controller, and this should be fine. And this could say add to inventory, right? And now I have all the, because I'm inside the item base, I have all the information that I need to add, and it's uh, it's a way to uh, way easier than what I'm doing here. I'm I'm passing from the item base, I'm passing back to the controller, and from the controller I pass to the inventory system. Then I'm getting the owner, I get the interactable actor, then go back to the interactable actor, get the correct data, and then add to the inventory. But the thing is that this creates a temporary hard ref inside the item base. So if I go to the item base size map, now it has the component, the inventory component inside. And I don't want to create this hard reference between the item base and the inventory component, because at the end of the day, the inventory should just hold data. Like, the only thing is that is holding is data, um, nothing else. The visuals and everything else should be handled through a different component, maybe a equipment manager or a weapon manager or something like that. So I don't want to connect those two together. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.